and welcome back to Concert Critiques in Cars with Emily. So, today's show is a long one, so literally let's just get into it because it's going to take forever. So, this one was HFSestival, brought back after a very long time of not being here anymore because the radio station was no longer a thing. So yeah. Alright, so first thing is first, we unfortunately missed the opening DJ as well as Lit, which I was really disappointed, was really looking forward to seeing Lit. Traffic and just other things that happened just did not allow that to be a reality. So unfortunately, traffic really was just very frustrating as a whole. So that was that. So yeah. Okay. So Filter, we missed the first few songs, but we came in to take my picture, so that was great. Also had no idea that was a Filter song, so definitely thought that was an Everclear song. So I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh wow, this is Filter. So yeah, it was good. Really cool to see that song live. Don't know that I would have ever gone to see them, but yes, I'm glad that I got to see it. So then after that, they played a song that had a heavier feel. Really liked the chorus, the guitar, and the bridge was also really good. And then after that, they played Nice Shot, or Hey Man, Nice Shot. Didn't know that was a Filter song. So there was that. But definitely had changes in pacing in the chorus, which was good. And then they changed up the choruses at the end, so that was really nice. I'm glad that they did that. So again, just like super fun. So that was really cool. Then after that, Tonic went on. Their first song had a full instrumental start. I really liked the lyrics in the chorus, and they had a neat transition from the chorus into the instrumental bridge, and then an impressive guitar in the bridge. So that was a really good start for their set. After that, there was a less instrumentally heavy start. Really liked the first verse and the second verse. The instruments were good, and the singing went well. And then I also liked the pre-chorus too. So again, that was a good follow-up, and I really liked that song as well. After that, they talked about the weather, how nice it was, and then they started playing guitar, but it didn't work. So he took a second to fix it, and then he said, this is the song that we had in American Pie. I recognized it, but totally forgot about it, so it was cool to see live. I definitely didn't know that one as well as their bigger hit, but I was like, oh yeah, I've definitely heard this song before. After that, he was like, all right, we're gonna go deep cut. It had an instrumentally heavy start, and then it dropped and had slower instrumentals for the verse. There was a fairly big shift for the chorus, and then back to the second verse, so I liked that. That was definitely interesting. So yeah. So after that, he told a quick story about falling in love with a girl, and how he called his mom and told her that they were getting married at 21, and she was like, it's gonna be a disaster, and he's like, no, it's not, because if you could only see, and that was what inspired him to write the song. So that was like really, 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 really fun to see live. I was so excited about that. And I knew it was coming, so that was good. I actually knew that was a Tonic song. Yeah, so in that song in particular, he definitely held words in the first verse. I loved the changes, and then he changed the pacing in the chorus, and as well as the second verse. Changed the pre-chorus. Really, really loved it. He stopped so the crowd could sing the last chorus, and then he started singing it, and then he walked away from the mic. But then he came back for just the last three words. So I really liked it. It was a really, really good, so many cool changes. So yeah, it was really great. Super short set, but that is the way of festivals. So yeah, so that was cool. Got to see that song live. Again, probably wouldn't have sought that out myself if it wasn't in a festival setting. So glad that I got to see it. After that, Violent Femmes went on. So they came out to I'm gonna go with clown sounding noises, but it was super fun, noises. Okay. So then he's like, we returned to the scene of the crime. Then they explained that the last time they played was for HFSestival. So the first song had vocals only to start, then the instruments came in for the verse. Really cool instruments on stage. Like they had like a really cool bass guitar, like this huge saxophone. It was really cool. I'm gonna say the song was called American Music. It seemed like that was the word that we're saying the most. Really loved the part word repetition, got the crowd clapping during the bridge, and I really loved, like, at the end it got like increasingly faster, the pace towards the end, so that was pretty cool. The next song, which is gonna go with Nothing, had a quick start to it, and then they were spelling the word Nothing, that's why I'm pretty sure it was called Nothing. Really quick lyrics in the verse. I liked the lyrics in the bridge as well. They had a drop in the music, and then they sang with just the guitar, so I really liked that part also. Then after that, they played Blister in the Sun, which was great because I knew that song. Super fun to see like the whole crowd clap. So I don't know if they actually knew the song or they just knew that one part. Really fun song to see live. They definitely changed the instrumentals for the transition between the chorus and the verse, and then they also changed the pacing in the chorus. There was an instrumental change for the instruments between the chorus and the bridge, and then you let the crowd sing the chorus. So again, just like super fun stuff. Really, really liked that set. So that was cool. And so after that, they played a similar sounding song, so it was a really good follow-up with that short and quick feel of the guitar, with as well as the lyrics coming in. So then the instruments came in after the first few lines, like all the rest of them, not just the guitar. So they had a really cool instrumental bridge with the bass. The bass was like the mostly featured song in that one. And then they came back with like the counting. It was the song that the counting, so it's like 1 is whatever, 2 is, but I'm not doing it justice at all, so please don't even pretend that was good. But yeah, shout out to Stephanie, who had a shirt for that song in particular. 8 is, and I think it's like, and I forgot what 8 is for or something, so yeah, that's what that song is. Then they played this song that they made for the movie The Crow. Really cool guitar and bass start. Drums kicked in. There was definitely like a slower vibe, but I liked the singing in the second verse. Short feel before the oohs and the ahs, so that was kind of cool, like a shorter, quicker feel. I really loved the singing in the part after the oohs and ahs. And it also like sounded like they were making a lot of changes just based on what they had played previously in that song. So yeah, really, oh, and then there was really great sax in the bridge, so saxophone. So yeah, that was just a really cool song. And then after that, he was like, when we say dance, you better dance. So of course it was, the song was called, anyway, yeah, I'm not going to say the name because I don't like to curse there, but super quick, instrumental heavy from the start, very simple repetitive lyrics. I think there's like the same lyrics over and over again. Super fun ending, very heavy metal feeling, just like a fun song. It was very short, but definitely just like a cool fun thing to kind of play at a festival for sure, where you want people to dance and be excited. After that, the song had an upbeat vibe. I really liked the lyrics in the chorus. Again, they had that quick, short feel to the verses. Lots of sax, especially in the bridge. And that song was called I Held Her in My Arms. After that, they started with a super fun xylophone start. I really liked the shift from the verse to the pre-chorus. The guy played that big, huge bass sax, which was really cool. I also don't know if that's actually called a bass saxophone, but I'm going for it. And then there were lots of like mini solos in the bridge, so that was cool. They all kind of had their own little mini solo, so that was neat. And then after that, they played a song. They were like, we used to play 100 years ago. It was called Old Mother Reagan. Really fast, quick instrumentals and lyrics. It was a really short song again. And then they ended with a song that started with just vocals, and then the instruments came in when they went into the verse. Fun lyrics in the first verse. I really liked the verse after the bridge, and it was called Add It Up, so that was a cool song. Really good ender too. I thought that was really great. Okay, oh my goodness, guys, this is a long one. So after that, it was Girl Talk, and so there were like warped sounds, and like it started to sound like words, and then it got slower and slower, and it realized that they were saying girl talk. Confetti like went flying when the guy came out. There was a table in front of the stage with his computer. All these people like came out with like, it looked like toilet paper rolls, but it was, I'm assuming it was supposed to be streamers, but so they were like shooting streamers into the air, and then a bunch of people, which I'm assuming were fans from the crowd, came onto the stage. So he was just like, hey, this is like girl talk, and then that was it. He didn't speak again for the whole set, pretty much. He just basically like remixed songs. At one point he took his sweatshirt off. I definitely recognized some of the songs, like there was Flagpole Sitta, and then he did what's that Miley Cyrus song in the USA. Like there was definitely a few that I was like, oh yeah, I totally know this song. But overall, definitely not my style. Was a little bit like, don't know why he went before or after Violent Femmes. Like why Lit was the opener, not him. I also like a little bit appreciated the time because that was when we walked around. We got some Coke that was supposed to taste like Oreos. So it was like a nice break, but it just was not musically what I was looking forward to. Then Jimmy Evo came on, and they opened with a praise chorus. So that was great because they're really fun to see live and great opener. Like, again, I guess in theory there were songs that I didn't know, so like technically it would have been too early for my like perfect 10, but it wasn't my favorite Jimmy Eat World song, so it was a good start because I knew it and I was like, oh yeah, this is a good jam. So yeah, great opener, pacing change in the first verse, changed the singing, really great like subtle changes. The bridge is my favorite part and it was so good, and then they had dual vocals at one point, so that was cool. After that, they played a song that had an instrumental heavy start, and then it dropped a bit for the verse. I didn't recognize it, but I did like the pre-chorus. Again, it had like a short, quick feel in the lyrics, and then I liked the lyrics in the chorus for that one as well, so I thought that was a really good follow-up. Okay, so then he said that they were pushing the technology to the limit today. And so I definitely think there was some techie stuff going on that maybe we didn't know about right off the bat, because then there is like actual real tech stuff that will go on in a second when I get to there. But yeah, so there was definitely something going on there. So then after that, they played Sweetness, which was way too early for me, but fantastic to see live. Had the crowd do the oohs in the chorus. So then during that song, I noticed that there was a crew member at the keyboardist, and the keyboardist was just basically standing there. So there were definitely tech problems with that. And so that was probably at least part of what he was talking about. And then all of a sudden the keyboard came in. It was so loud, which quickly got like corrected. It was very quickly fixed. But yeah, oh my gosh, this is so bizarre. Sorry, this just got changed to a red light. Wow, okay. Boy, that was fun. That was so fun. It must be 12:30, I guess. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so it was really loud. But yeah, so after that, like they did change the chorus a little bit, and then there was instrumentals were changed, so that was really cool. After that, they played Something Loud, instrumental heavy start. Really liked the background vocals in the pre-chorus, and then I really liked the lyrics in the pre-chorus. There was a good shift in the bridge, and then they had a good like build back up into the pre-chorus, so that was a cool song. I liked that as well. After that, they played a song with a slower vibe, but still had like a full instrumental feel. I liked the lyrics in the second verse, and I liked the keyboard in the bridge for that one. After that, he fumbled with the name of the festival, which was like funny, and he was like, oh man, he's like, I just can't talk today. And then he talked about DC and the surrounding area and how like amazing they were at supporting him all these years, the band. And so then his guitar stopped working, and so that took a while to fix, and he like tried to keep talking. He was like talking a lot about like, wow, like this is like really you know, like awkward when you are just saying your thoughts and no one's responding, and then you like take a break because you think it's done, and then you just keep going. But then at one point he did say, he was like, I don't like when people get mad, like when lead singers get like upset when something goes wrong. He's like, there's just nothing you can do about it. And so I actually like really appreciated the fact that he didn't seem like, I don't think he was just saying that to say that. I genuinely don't think he was like upset, and he was just like, whatever, like it'll get fixed and we'll keep playing and it's fine. So I like that he kept his cool. I think he was genuine in that moment. I mean, I'm sure he was frustrated, but he for sure didn't show it. And I think he genuinely was like, I don't like when lead singers show their frustration. Like, it happens and these people are working to fix it, and that's all we can do. Anyway, so yeah, I immediately recognized it. It was Pain, quick short feel, love the verse, an amazing song to see live. Definitely needed his guitar for that one. Like, I was paying ultra super attention. Like, even just the first bit, I was like, oh yeah, no, this is literally like all just his guitar. So then after that, they played another song that I recognized, really good follow-up. Love the chorus, fun to see live. They had the crowd clap their hands for the bridge. And then it did sound like there were some subtle changes in the pacing for the bridge, so I really liked that as well. And again, really two good songs, like right in a row that I knew, so I liked that. And then after that, they played the middle. He sang it like a bit differently in the first verse and the second verse, so I really liked those changes. And then changes to the guitar in the bridge, so that was pretty cool. And then they changed the end of the chorus right after the bridge, so I really liked that. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this was maybe the best time I've seen Jimmy Eat World. I feel like the last few times they were pretty boring, and so I was really impressed and excited. I honestly wish they would have played longer. So then after that, Phair went on. So I did not know this, but apparently Phair was not supposed to be there, and it was supposed to be Garbage, but I guess the lead singer of Garbage had surgery and had to recover, so I guess they canceled the tour, including HFSestival. So yeah. I'll maybe make that comment later. So the first song had an instrumental heavy start. I really hard to hear her sing, but it seemed like it did get louder pretty much like halfway through the song. So the soundboard guy must have been like, oh, we can't hear her singing. So overall, I thought the song was a pretty decent way to start. It was upbeat, so that was good. So then after that, it was just the guitar to start. Came in with full instrumentals before the lyrics, and then there was like a repetition part in the chorus, which I really liked. The next song had a similar feel, so it was a good follow-up. I liked the short, quick feel of the verses in the bridge, and then I actually really liked the bridge. That was really good. After that, there was a slower feel, but still had an instrumental heavy song. There was a good build-up from the bridge back into the chorus, so that was kind of cool. After that, there was a slower, less instrumental heavy song, I think there was feedback at the beginning, but I couldn't tell, but I did think it was a good follow-up. I liked the lyrics in the chorus, and then I thought the bridge was pretty good too. After that, the song had like a really dark feel vibe to it. I actually really liked that song, especially the second verse. So yeah, I don't know, the darker song definitely struck out to me. Then after that, there was definitely a much lighter feel, and it was a bit slower, way too storytelly for me. Like, it just, like, I don't know, it was just not, it was like, yeah, I don't know, the lyrics in the verses just were such like a, this is what happened at the beginning, and this is what happened in the end, and I'm not going to try and make it rhyme, and it's just going to be exactly what happened. But there definitely was like a build up for the chorus, and then a drop like back from the chorus. After that, the song had like a more rock feel, and I really liked the singing halfway through and at the end of the verse. So like halfway through, she kind of changed up the singing, and then at the end, she did the same thing to change up the singing again. I liked the choruses and the lyrics. I liked the drop and the wind down of the instruments at the end, so I thought that was cool. After that, there was a less instrumentally heavy start with a few drums and guitar. Good build up after the first verse into the chorus. I really liked the instrumental bridge. Gosh, after that, she played a lot of songs, man. So there was an upbeat and instrumentally heavy start. I liked the varied singing in the verses. After that, she introduced the band. I thought it was a really good follow-up. I really liked the short, quick feel of the verse, and I liked the lyrics in the second verse as well. Okay, so finally she got to her last song, and it was Why Can't I? And that was the one song I recognized. No idea that was her song. Would have never been able to answer that in a trivia. Really cool to see live. Again, would not have sought it out myself, so that was cool. Definitely made some subtle changes in the second verse, and she changed the end. And then they did like an instrumental outro, so that was kind of a cool difference. I just wish that the HFSestival people would have just been like, you know what, Garbage can't make it. All the fans are going to be like in their early 40s to mid 40s, so let's just maybe end early and not have this last until 11 o'clock at night. So yeah, I would have appreciated if she just maybe didn't play. It was a boring, weird set, and it just, I don't know, just really broke the vibe for me. Especially after actually enjoying Jimmy Eat World. I was like, oh my gosh, I actually liked Jimmy Eat World this time, and now it's just like, ugh. So yeah, so that was definitely one of the lowlights for me for this show. But after that, Bush went on, and they were amazing. Oh my gosh, guys, I have so much to go, and now I just have to sit in my car and do this. Whew. Okay, so they kind of came out to weird electric noises. The drummer came out and then drummed while the band came out, like, and I mean like drum, like soloed, so like he did a good job. They played Everything Zen, such a good choice for a first song. They changed the singing in the second verse. They said hello before the bridge, so they kind of stopped and extended the instrumentals in the bridge. They changed the pacing a bit. So yeah, oh, and then he held a note. That was pretty cool too. After that, they played Machine Head. Fantastic follow-up, so good. Love seeing that song. Changed the pacing in the chorus and post-chorus. Love the ending. Guitar in the bridge was great, so fantastic. After that, they played a song that I didn't recognize. It had a quick, short feel in the lyrics. He definitely wasn't playing the guitar, so he was able to move around the stage, so he kept moving back and forth. I loved the lyrics about the symphonies in the chorus. I want to say maybe this was called Bullet Holes. If not, it has something to do with symphonies in the song title, but really liked that lyric. So, and I'm glad that it was in the chorus and it got repeated a few times. Oh, I guess I also don't need my glasses anymore. What? Okay. Then after that, they played Chemicals Between Us, which, guys, oh my gosh, love that song so much. Changed the first verse. Love the second verse so much. Added some part phrase repetition at the end of the second verse. Changed the ending a lot with lyrics and like an extended instrumental outro. So fantastic. After that, they played Sound of Winter. Really like the song's quick, short feel in the verse. Really good follow-up. Love the instrumental drop to just the bass and vocals. And then he added a few repetitions at the end, so that was cool. After that, the band left the stage and it was just Gavin singing with recorded music in the background. He did Swallow. Really cool way to sing that song, just like him and the recorded music. So it was pretty cool. After that, he talked about music bringing people together. Then the band came back on stage. I didn't know the song. I want to say maybe Flowers on the Grave. That was the lyric that was repeated most in the chorus. Instrumentally heavy start, but then got less heavy as the verse started. I liked the lyrics in the verses. He jumped off the stage and went to the barricade. At one point he bent down like really far over, so that was a little bit weird. But yeah, love the short, quick feel in the bridge and the guitar part in the bridge as well. So that was a really good song. So then after that, I played Little Things, subtle changes in the first verse, fantastic song, changed the singing in the second verse, jumped around the stage, went upstairs, so there was like 2 little staircases to the drum platform, so he went up the stairs to the drum, and then he shared a life hack, and so he said that whenever someone tries to fight you, you just say, "We don't give an F." But that song was really fun to see live, so yeah, that was a good choice. After that, there was another song I didn't recognize. They had a quick short feel in the verses, good follow-up, similar type of sound. They made it seem like it was their last song, which I would have been really upset with. There was also some crackling in the mic, and then he like got it switched like halfway through the song. Guy came out with a new mic for him. Yeah, I don't know, like the things he was saying, he made it seem like it was the last song, and I was like, they're really not gonna play Glycerin and they're gonna end on a song that nobody knows? Like, I was like, come on guys, and by nobody I mean me. Not speaking for everyone. So then they finished the song and the mic was off, and so we couldn't hear him, and like he's talking and he's making this whole like these hand gestures, and we're like, we can't hear you, bro. So he finally walked off stage, and I was like, if this is how the show ends, I'm gonna be so mad. But it didn't end that way. Surprise. So he came back out, played Glycerin. It was only him and the guitar. He stopped playing for the second verse, the guitar, but then kept singing. So that was really cool. Definitely subtle changes in the bridge, extra repetitions. And then he like added some bits at the end. It was just fantastic and really cool. So then after that, the whole band came back and they played Come Down. They had an extended instrumental intro. They changed the singing in the first verse. It was a fantastic last song, especially after Glycerin. So good. They got to the bridge and then they kind of interacted with the crowd by talking to us. They changed it up, extended instruments, let the crowd sing the third verse and the chorus after that. And then I really love the lyrical part in the bridge, so that was cool. And then they changed and extended the outro. So really great way to end their set. So glad they didn't stop at that one song, and that dead mic didn't stop them from coming back out. So that was really cool. After that, Incubus came on. There was like music and distorted words as the band members got on stage. The first song was the Nice to Know You. Again, that might not be the title, but that's what's in the chorus. So that was cool. Recognized it immediately. Super early for me because I knew I wasn't gonna know a lot of Incubus songs. Like I think I know 4, and that was one of the 4 that I knew. So, and I knew they were gonna play more than 4 songs because they were so late in the set. So yeah, anyway, there was definitely like a filter on the mic that made him sound like gritty, more electronic, but definitely sounded like there were some subtle changes in the second verse, so that was cool. Okay, so then the next song had an instrumental build-up before the lyrics. I didn't recognize it, but it had a quick short feel and a breakdown in the bridge. After that, he played Wish You Were Here. Way too early, like so early. Don't know why you made it your third song, could have waited. But changed pacing in the first verse. So I loved that. I also just loved the lyrics in the second verse in general. There were also subtle changes in that verse. They let the crowd sing like the one line in the bridge and then the chorus after. He held a note at the end, which was cool. And it was not on the last word. It was were instead of here. So that was cool. So then after that, the next song was heavy instrumental intro. I definitely heard the song before, but I didn't know it that well. It had the quick short feel, and then there was like a high pitch at the end of some of the lines in the verses, so I really liked that. I thought that was cool. And then they had dual vocals at the end, so I liked that as well. After that, the next song had an instrumental intro, which had a slower pace in the second half of the first verse, and then it got faster for the chorus. They had an extended instrumental bridge, which was really good, so I liked that song as well. There was a slower instrumental to start. This was definitely like a lull in the set. It was well placed. It just didn't, I didn't know the song, and it was just like, okay. But then like halfway through the song, they switched it up and went into a cover of In the Air Tonight, which was awesome. Fun cover, really cool to hear it more like of a rock version, so I really liked that. And again, it definitely saved that song because I was just like, oh, this song is just blah. And then it was actually like a cool thing. After that, the start of the song was really bass heavy. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm only on page 16 and there's 23 pages. Oy. And it's almost 12 o'clock. I mean, it's almost 1 o'clock. Like 12 o'clock is coming to an end and I need to keep going. Okay, really bass heavy start, quick short feel of lyrics, but still a slower vibe overall. And a good follow-up. Good build-up to the instrumental bridge, and then a drop for the verse. Really enjoyed that part, like when they dropped for the verse, and then I liked the lyrics in that final verse as well. Went right into Come Together, which was a cover, Beatles. Loved that they played another cover. Was curious why, since they like were at a shorter set, abbreviated set, but whatever, I was happy. It was another song that I knew that they played, so that was great. After that they played I'm Gonna Go With Warning. I don't know, it could not be the right thing, but that was another song that I knew. Definitely forgot that this was their song. Really love the verses. They definitely have that shorter, quicker feel. And then the transitions to the chorus was great. Instrumental change for the bridge, and there were also singing changes too, which I really liked. They extended the end and had the crowd sing the ooze at the end, so that was cool too. Then after that, the next song had a short, quick feel with instrumentals and ooze to start. Instruments came in heavy. After that, I did not realize, oh, sorry, no, I did realize that. I just didn't recognize the song. Writing. So the singer went over to the drum kit and he like played like a hand drum. I'm gonna say bongos, but I could be wrong, but he definitely played a hand drum, so that was kind of cool. A little switch up there. After that, there was a big switch in that song in the bridge. Like, and the ending, so I actually really liked it. Kind of like slowed down, it had a slower pace, so that I thought that was interesting, but I really liked the change. After that, they played Pardon Me. So good, so good. Love the short, quick feel in the lyrics. And then in the verses, like, love the pre-chorus. They let the crowd sing the second chorus, change pacing at the end. Oh, so good. It was great. And then after that, they played Drive. So fantastic last two songs. Glad they saved them to the end. Such a great follow-up. Sat on the amps in front of the stage. Subtle pacing changes in the verse, especially the second one. So that was really cool. Dropped the music to let the crowd sing the O's. Or the ooze, changed the paces in the pre-chorus, and then they let the crowd sing the chorus after the bridge, so that was really cool. Loved that. Again, that was like a 1-2. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Oh my goodness, guys, we're not even there yet. Ooh, okay. Death Cab for Cutie was next. Okay, so much about Death Cab. So Death Cab Cutie and the Postal Service were the two like headliners. Did not know until tonight that the lead singer for Death Cab for Cutie is the same lead singer as the Postal Service. I may have buried the lead there. I'm sorry if you didn't know that. I didn't know that. So this was new information. And so I will tell you what he said at the end of the Death Cab set and why it was so confusing. And then it was like, oh my gosh, it's because you're the same guy. Okay. So let's get into the fact that Death Cab and the Postal Service both played, there must have had an anniversary tour for one of their albums. So they played that album from start to finish. That was all they played because it was, again, a festival set. So they only had 45 minutes. So that album fit perfectly, right? So I'm assuming when they went on their normal tour, because this was the end of their tour, they were playing more than just that. So they played the album from start to finish, and then they probably played more songs, but they didn't have time for that because it was a festival. So they played the whole thing start to finish. So Death Cab, the first song, I'm so sorry I did not write the song titles down because I just didn't realize that they were doing that until maybe a little too late. Came out with string instruments as the band came out. Did not recognize the song, but I liked the short, quick feels with the pauses between the lines. So that was really cool. I liked the pauses and then he would sing. Loved the instruments during the bridge. Really great to hear his iconic voice. Again, I don't know how I didn't know that he was also the singer for Postal Service. But then that song kind of like ended abruptly. After that, the music dropped and slowed for the next song. I really liked the instrumentals, especially at the beginning. The third song started, so then he said that they started the tour here and they came back to end here. So that was kind of cool, even though they're from, Seattle, Washington. But he like went to high school here. So that was kind of cool. So recognized the song, but I didn't know it that well, but I definitely recognize it because I love the part about the glove compartment. So I love that lyric in the first verse. And that was Title and Registration. That's what that song is called. So that was cool. After that, they played a song that had a short, quick feel in the lyrics with a less heavy instrumentals to start. I loved there was a sudden shift and like a heavier sound in the chorus, or maybe it was like the pre-chorus, but it was really great. After that, they played Sound of Settling. So good. So fantastic. And listen, I did not know a lot of songs off this album, but oh my gosh, of all the songs to know, I'm so glad it was Sound of Settling. I love that song so much, and it was so good to see. And of course, I totally forgot that that was their song, and they could maybe potentially even play it because, oh my gosh, it was just so good. I mean, obviously way too early for me, but again, they were just going in the order of the album, so I couldn't, whatever. Changed the pacing in the second verse, and at the end of the song too. It was so good. The next song had a slower start, really good shift to a heavier sound for the chorus. I really liked, there was like a rising pitch or tone in the chorus for 2 of the lines. It was like he's saying, and then it would sing it normal, and then it would go back up to that like rising pitch. Instruments in the bridge were great, and then I really liked the lyrics after that, so maybe in the third verse. The next song had a slower start and a slower vibe. I liked the lyric about the lake versus the moat, so I thought that was cool. And then they had a really good build-up for the bridge, so that was transatlanticism. Really long bridge and ending. I liked it. I'm not saying it was, but it was just a long one. After that, I really liked the piano at the beginning before the lights came up. It had a slower start. It was a little too storytelly for me, the lyrics, but I did like the lyrics in the chorus. Or maybe it was just at the end, not really. I don't even know if that song had a chorus, to be perfectly honest with you, but again, it was like a little too much of like a storytelling. After that, they played Death of an Interior Decorator with a full instrumental intro to start. Quick short feel in the verse. Really liked the singing and instrumentals before the part before the instrumental bridge. I don't know, it was a short song. Didn't really have a clear like chorus and all that stuff. After that, they talked about growing up and going to school in Herndon, which is cool. And then they played We Looked Like Giants. Good follow-up, but of course it's on the album, so it makes sense. Quick short feel in the verse, and I liked the build-up into the chorus. The guitarist and keyboard. Okay, so there was guitars on one side, right? Keyboards on the other, and like in the song, I just see both of them walk across the stage, like they cross each other's paths, right? Like they're just like whoop, and then they just played the other person's instrument. I was like, that's cool. So cool. Then they had an extended instrumental ending. So again, random, but so cool. After that, they played a quick short feel of guitar. So then they started singing with only the guitar. I recognized it, a lack of color. Totally forgot about this song. So good to see live. Love the lyrics in the first verse. Just loved the changes and how they like sang and played the song. Love the guitar. Such a good way to end it. I totally forgot about that song. I do kind of wish they would have just like did the festival thing and played hits, but may not have played Sound of Settling, so that was so good. And honestly, I don't know if they would have played A Lack of Color, so maybe I shouldn't say that, but it was fantastic. It was really cool to see those 2 songs in particular. But again, I didn't know that album super well, so maybe I should have just listened to it. Okay, so then after that, so right at that song ends, he's like, all right, we'll be back in 15 minutes. And I was like, 15 minutes? Like, there's no encore. And also, encores aren't 15 minutes long. So then that's when I started piecing together, this guy's totally coming back out for this show. Turns out, same lead singer, guys. Same lead singer. So again, there was a string instrumental before they came out on stage. The first song, so again, they played the album from start to finish. So the first song had a slow start. Really loved the strings and the female vocals, especially when they were dual vocals. And then they had a short, quick feel in the verses and the chorus. And I want to say the song was called The District Sleeps Alone or something like that. Because then he's saying DC sleeps, so that was cool. And the female and the lead singer like stood face to face while they played guitar on stage, so that was cool. Then they played Such Great Heights. Way too early for me. Like so early, way too early. I was sad, but again, it's the second on that, so I get it. Changed the pacing in the first verse. Really great to see live. So then they like danced and played the with the female for the instrumental bridge, so they were like hanging out on stage. And then I really loved the lyrics in the chorus. Just so good. That song is so good. Then they played Sleeping In, short, quick feel, excuse me, in the instrumental. Had a line about stop signs at November, so that would be a win in my house, personally. But I wasn't a huge fan of the chorus for that one. Just like a little repetitive and kind of blah. After that, he asked if we believed in love, and I really liked the short, quick feel. I thought it was a good follow-up, but of course, again, it's on the album, so it makes sense. That one was Nothing Better, recognized the chorus. I had heard it, but I didn't really know it well. I also really liked the shift when the female vocals came in. It sounded like they kind of just changed the instrumentals in a whole, so that was a really cool effect. It was like, I don't know if it was just like going from the chorus to the next verse or whatever, but it was really cool. So then they stood face to face and sang, which was really cool because it's like a love back and forth song. So I really liked the back and forth vocals, like the story that the vocals told. So that was cool. After that, they played Recycled Air. Slower start, not my favorite. They did have dual vocals, which I liked. They had a longer instrumental bridge. I did like the lyrics in the chorus. And then at the end, they had like a digital voice with a heavy filter. But, excuse me. But definitely kind of not my favorite. This is what happens when I talk for 40 minutes straight, by the way. After that, they played Clark Gable, which had a quick, short feel, much faster and fuller sound. I really enjoyed this song. I really liked when his pitch rose at the end of the line in the verses, so I thought that was cool. Then he went over to the drum kit and played while he sang. Again, that's super impressive in general, so that was really cool. After that, they played We Will Become Silhouettes, quick, short feel, and some 8-bit sounds in the beginning. Really good follow-up. I really liked the lyrics in the chorus. Again, he went back to the drums for like a really upbeat instrumental bridge. Fun, and like also cool that he plays the drums so much, so that was cool. And then the female like held this cool note at the end, so that was cool. I really liked that song. After that, they played This Place Is a Prison. Had this like weird dark feel, but I like loved it. Like I was so into it. Really liked the lyrics and the verses. He went back to the drum set. Really liked the instrumentals when the drums kicked in. I really loved the lyrics after the drums kicked in. It may have, other than Such Great Heights, was my favorite song in the set. I really, really liked that song. Again, that like dark feel. So then they played Brand New Colony. But before they started playing, he said that the Postal Service will not be back anytime soon, and he made it seem like he was going to say if ever, but then he stopped himself short. So super glad I got to see them, because it doesn't seem like I will maybe get the opportunity anytime soon. I can't believe it's 1 o'clock in the morning right now. Anyway, I recognized the instrumentals immediately. And then I was like glad that I knew the song. Again, I didn't like know it super well, but I was at least like, oh yeah, no, I totally know this song. So I'm glad that it was towards the end and I was like, okay, I know this. Really liked the lyric about the photograph in the album. I thought that was cool. There was a cool shift for when the drums came in during the instrumental bridge. They had the crowd sing at the end, which was really impactful because like the lyric was like, what was it, like the world's gonna end or something, like nothing's gonna be the same, and you're like, yeah, no, nothing is gonna be the same because you're like leaving and you're never coming back. So yeah, that was impactful, and if they had ended on that song, I would have been like, damn. But then after that, they played Natural Anthem. Really liked the synth instruments in the intro. Super long instrumental intro. There were like not a lot of words. It kind of just seemed like it was just like an instrument song with a few lyrics, and then it ended in instruments. But I liked the instruments at the end. After that, he was like, let's go bring everyone back. So Death Cab came back out, the remaining members who were not on stage. And then they played the cover of Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode. Short, quick feel in the verses I really liked. So yeah, I like knew right away. I was like, oh yeah, I've heard this before. So I like that they ended on a cover song and not one of their own, and that they had the whole crowd out there. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't believe this is taking me 45 minutes. Okay, thank you for sticking with me if you are still here. Scores. Wow. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be impossible. I mean, Filter was great. Saw 2 songs that I knew no idea they were their songs, but they were fantastic. Tonic was really good. Really did not love the Girl Talk. I thought that was definitely a very, very big lull. Violent Femmes were amazing. They were really, really, really good. I know I just went out of order, sorry. Jimmy Eat World was actually really great. I really liked their sets for once. Liz Phair, really could have done without her. Wish they had just canceled that part of the set and ended earlier, because I wouldn't be 1 o'clock right now. Bush was amazing. Really good song choices. So glad they played Glycerine and Come Down at the end instead of that other song. Incubus was good when they were good. Okay when they were okay. Death Cab was great. Again, Sound of Settling was so good. As was Lack of Color. A Lack of Color. I really like that song. But again, I would have liked to see like more of the hits than just that album. And then Postal Service, same thing. They really, oh man, playing Such Great Heights right at the beginning was really rough. But the last song was really, or the second to last song was cool. So I'm glad I got to see that. Or no, the third to last song, I guess the second to last song on their album. I don't know. Oh, this is so hard. I'm gonna give this one an 8.0. The highs were fantastic and amazing, but the lows, man, they were pretty low sometimes. So 8.0 for the greatness, and that's what it is. So let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!